Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, perfect. Nice to
So,
meet you.
yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
Good.
So, basically, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, ask or answer however you want, and yeah, thanks so much for your
Okay,
time.
sounds good.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Wild Willie's Book Reviews. Today, I'm here with author Lisa Harrington, who wrote the book The Big Dig. I reviewed this book, so if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure to go check it out. Link in the description below. Is there anything that you would like to say to anybody watching this video?
Um, I don't think just like I'm happy to be here. I hope everyone is healthy and COVID free and yeah, it's nice to sort of everything's been sort of quiet, dormant for a while with writing and that kind of thing. So it's nice to get out and see people and do stuff.
So, what do you think your kind of favorite thing about writing The Big Dig was?
I think that's a hard one because actually The Big Dig was the first story that I ever wrote. Um, I had it in my head for a long time and I thought I'll try and put it down on paper. I entered it into a contest and it came third place. And the that's the story that got me starting on my writing career. Plus, it was also loosely based on something that happened to me when my mom passed away. So it's very precious to me. It's my baby. So even though it's the fifth book that I published, it was the very first thing that I wrote.
So, do you think the thing that inspired you to write this book is kind of about your mom, or what do you think the reason you wrote this book was?
Yeah, because when I first thought about writing, everyone said to me, write what you know. So I couldn't really, I didn't think I had it in me to imagine a lot of things so I thought this was a safe bet to um, write something that I experienced. And that's why it's set in the 1970s, because it's the age that I was in the 1970s. So I thought it would come more naturally to me if I was the character of the main character of the book. So yeah.
What do you think your favorite thing about writing is in general?
Um, geez, I don't know, just like taking an idea and of course, originally when you have an idea, you think you sort of have it planned out or that's the goal, you know how it's going to go. And it's really amazing to go through that process and have it totally not go the way you thought it was going to go. And another part of, well, the writing process that is my favorite is that I'm part of a writing group and they're dear people to me. My daughter is one of the members. And so that's part of the process that's very special to me too, because we meet every week, well, not during COVID, and we share each other's work and we sort of participate in the creation of everybody's story. So
Do you think that it helps you to hear other people's feedback on your book, or do you think that you kind of prefer to not hear other people's feedback and just kind of like write what you feel?
yeah, when I first started out, um, yeah, if someone was critiquing your work, you took it so personally. I remember like almost crying sometimes because the first thing I did was take a writing workshop. That's where I met all these people that are in my writing group now. And we would sit around a big table and share our writing. And then everyone around the table would critique it. And your feelings like get hurt, but then you just sort of toughen up the more you do it. And you realize usually 95% of the time, all the comments help make your story better. And that's one thing, you cannot be precious about your writing. You just have to accept and embrace all the critique and know that that's just, you don't have to take it all. You can pick and choose what you like, but yeah, it's rough at first, but you get used to it.
Do you think that you'll be writing any more books in the future about maybe a certain topic, or do you think that you just want to write whatever comes to mind?
Well, I'm just working on finishing a manuscript right now. It's they sort of have a new category now. It's called young adult. So it's like a bit above no, sorry, new adult. So it's a bit above young adult, yeah, and but not quite adult. So I'm very passionate about The Bachelor, the show The Bachelor. So this is sort of a ripoff of kind of like a Canadian Bachelor type story. Girl goes on a dating show.
So I can't wait to see you at Read by the Sea this
Yeah,
summer.
I'm really excited. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to at Read by the Sea?
Um, I mean, really just being out with people again and other writers and getting to talk to people who've read your book, hopefully. And yeah, we used my family used to have a cottage up there, so I'm familiar with the area. And my daughter's going to come with me too, and she has a book that's also set in River John. And yeah, so I think it's just going to be fun to be out with people again and being social about writing.
Do you have any like tips for people who are maybe trying to write their first book that helped you?
Um, yeah, I would say, I mean, it might not be available to younger people, but if you can find a writing group that you can join, it really does help because I'm probably kind of a lazy person in a way. And the writing group made you produce, like, because you had to have a chapter to read every week. And maybe, you know, if you didn't have that constant, like, have to, I don't know, I might sort of procrastinate and put it off. Another good thing is, too, when you're starting off, to write what you know, like that's what I did. And then I realized that my children were in high school and that kind of thing. So they were always around me. And I realized, oh, I could sort of slide into a more current time frame. And, you know, but they helped me with, you know, the vibe, the lingo, that kind of thing. And oh, and also to read your work out loud. That's the best way to pick up anything that doesn't sound right and all your mistakes. So read your work out loud.
Think that there was a specific book that maybe inspired you to start writing?
Um, well, I have a lot of favorite authors, but I do remember before I actually put my first book down into words, my daughter was homesick with chickenpox. It was before, that would have been like 22 years ago. And I was getting her stuff at the like Medicaid, like Coldman, or I don't know, maybe it was antihistamine. I don't know. Anyway, so I was at the in lineup at the superstore, and right at the checkout was Harry Potter in paperback. I'd never heard that was never even heard of it before. It was there. I grabbed it, and I sat on the floor of her room and leaned against her bed and read her the first Harry Potter out loud when she was sick with the chicken pox. And then, of course, I did research and into J.K. Rowling's story. I was like, wow, if, you know, just if she could, maybe that could be me. So it's like, that's sort of like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get my story written down and see what happens. And I'm going to be a bajillionaire. And yeah, well, some of it happened, some of it didn't. Yeah.
Do you find in school that you really enjoyed writing, or was it something that maybe you started liking later in your future?
Yeah, no, I never, I have a teaching degree. I always thought I was going to be a teacher. My mom was a teacher. My grandmother was a teacher. But when I finished school, at that time, there was just like no teaching jobs. Um, so I liked art. I loved drawing and painting, but I never really, it's not like I thought my whole life, oh, I really want to be a writer. It's just, I tried it and and then I wrote another manuscript, sort of based in the area where I grew up in. And I got really lucky. and it got published, and not everyone's that lucky. So I was just like, hey, maybe I can do this. So yeah, I just sort of fell into it. Very, very lucky. Yeah.
Is there like a special routine that you do while you're writing, or do you just kind of write an idea when you get an idea?
Yeah, I just read an idea. Like some people, get up early in the morning, sit and stare at the computer. I can't do that. Like I might get an idea whilst I'm doing the dishes, and then I'll go write it down, and then I won't go back to it again till, I might hear my kids say something and I go, oh, that's a good line, or sometimes music too, listening to songs or something, you get lots of ideas there. But no, I have no routine. I am not the poster child for a good writing. This is how you write a book.
So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'm glad that you
Yeah,
can come, and I can't wait to meet you
I
at Read by
know.
the
I can't
Sea.
wait. I hope we have good weather, and I hope it'll be a fun time. I can't wait.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All
So
right.
yeah, thanks so much for your time.
No problem. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.